truthful, I was offended. I was damn mad too. It was 6 perfectly good hamburgers without enough pork in them to make them disgusting. I was offended. But after a while, I decided that I should give it a try for at least a few more days. Because when you think about it, this dog had what amounted to an antipathy towards me, and I wondered if I might overcome this antipathy. So, for the next 5 days, I kept on buying hamburgers, but it was always the same. Snarl, sniff, move, faster, stop, stare, look up, stare again. Smile. BAM! Well, by this time, Columbus Avenue was just strewn with hamburger rolls, and I was less offended than disgusted. So, I decided to kill the dog. Don't be alarmed, Peter. I didn't succeed. The day I decided to kill the dog, I went out and I bought only 1 hamburger this time, and what I thought was a murderous portion of rat poison. When I got to the hamburger stand, I asked him not to bother with the roll. All I wanted was the meat. I was afraid he'd be all smart on me and be like, "We don't sell no hamburgers without the banner. What are you going to do? Eat it out of your hands?" But no, he just smiled benignly, wrapped it up in a bit of wax paper, handed it to me and said, "A bite for your pussycat." What I wanted to say was, no, it's part of this plan to poison a dog, I know. But saying a dog, I know, is not sounding funny, so I said a little too loudly and a little too formally, I'm afraid. "Yes, a bite for my pussycat." People looked up. People always just look up when I try to simplify things, you know? I walked home and I needed to meet with the poison between my hands, at this point feeling as much sadness as disgust, and I opened the door, and there he was, waiting to take my offering and jump me. Poor dog, he never learned that the second he took to smile before he attacked gave me just enough time to get out of range. But there he was, malevolence with an erection. So I went inside, set the poison patty down, slowly backed into the staircase. The monster did its usual routine. He snarled, ate slowly from the hamburger, tore into it, looked up at me, and smiled, which almost made me sick. And then, BAM! He made for me again, as usual, but I got to the stairs, as usual, and nothing happened. And thus it came to pass that the beast was deathly ill. I knew this because he no longer attended to me, because the landlady sobered up. She stopped me in the hall on the evening of the attempted murder, confided me the information that God had struck her puppy dog a surely fatal blow. She'd forgotten her rule of lust, and her eyes were open for the first time. They looked like dog's eyes. She sniveled and implored me to pray for the animal. What I wanted to say to her was, "But madam, I have myself to pray for, the colored queen, the Puerto Rican family, the person living in the room who I've never seen, the woman who cries deliberately behind her closed door. Besides, madam, I don't understand how to pray." But to simplify things, I told her I would pray. She looked up. She told me that I was a liar, that I probably wanted the dog to die. I told her there was so much truth in this, Peter. I told her that I didn't want the dog to die. And it wasn't just because I poisoned him. I'm afraid I must tell you that I wanted the dog to live because I wanted to see what our new relationship might come to. Please understand, Peter, that sort of thing is important. We have to know the effects of our actions. At any rate, the dog recovered. I have no idea why, unless he was the descendant of the puppy dog that guarded the gates of hell or something else. I don't know. I'm not much of I don't know a lot about mythology. Do you? Whatever. But the dog recovered his health, and the landlady recovered her thirst, in no way altered by the Bowlow's deliverance. On my way home, after the movie I had seen, I was just so hoping for the dog to be waiting for me. I was enticed. I was fascinated. I was heart-shatteringly anxious. Yes, I was heart-shatteringly anxious to confront my doggy friend again. Yes, Peter, friend, that's the only word for it. I was heart-shatteringly, etc., to confront my doggy friend again. Anyway, I got to the rooming house, I opened the door, and there he was, just looking at me. I walked to the center of the entrance hall and I stopped. I looked at him. He looked at me. I think we stayed a long time that way, just looking at one another. Still, stone statue. I looked longer at the dog than he looked at me. I mean, I can concentrate longer in looking into a dog's face than a dog can into mine, or into anyone else's face for that matter. But during that 2 seconds or 2 hours that we just stood there looking for each other, we made contact. Now here's what I wanted to happen. I love the dog now. I wanted him to love me. I had tried to love and I had tried to kill, and both had created nothing by themselves. I don't know why. I don't know why I expected the dog to understand anything, much less my motivations, but I just so hoped that the dog would understand. Because it's just that you can't deal with people. You have to start with something. With animals. With a person has to have some way of connecting with something. With a bed, with a cockroach, with a mirror. No, that's too hard. It's the same thing as talking to a person. With a carpet, with a cockroach, with a roll of toilet paper. No, that's the same thing as a mirror. You're always checking for bleeding. Do you see how hard it is to find things? With a street corner, with too many lights, and all the colors reflecting on the oily wet streets, with a whisper of smoke, with pornographic playing cards, with a strong box without a lock, with love, with crying, with vomiting, with fury, because the pretty little ladies aren't pretty little ladies. With making money with your body, which is an act of love, and I can prove it. With howling because you're alive, with God. How about that? With God! With God, who is a colored queen, who wears a Japanese kimono and plucks his eyebrows. With God, who is a woman who cries deliberately behind her closed doors. God, I'm told, just turned his back on the whole thing some time ago. Someday. With people, with an idea, a concept, and wherever better to communicate one single, simple-minded idea than in an entrance hall. Where? It would be a start. Where better to make a beginning and just possibly be understood and begin to understand, a beginning of an understanding than with a dog. Just that, a dog. Look, Seymour! This could happen to you! Yes, unless I take immediate action. Let's get started!
What's that? It's rusty!
Sturdy. Double. This is going to be a challenge. This is going to be a pleasure. I'm going to want some gas in this car.
Gas?
Not your socks.
Oh, thank God. I thought you weren't going to use me then.
No. Susan, it's not for you. It's for me. I want to really enjoy this, and I find that a little giggle gas before we begin increases my pleasure enormously. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use my special gas mask on. Now, let's relax. I'll give you in a moment.
Now, do it now. While he's gassing himself into a novel super, the demanding ideal of the movement is to perturb that he and fire and below the sea dentist away.
Well, I've had about enough of this stuff. I guess I'll just take the mask off now.